You know that second after introducing yourself, when their smile stays polite but never truly arrives. The conversation moves, but something invisible keeps scraping the air like a zipper stuck halfway closed. You start performing versions of yourself, hoping one of them finally unlocks warmth in their face. Instead, you leave wondering why being friendly still felt like knocking on glass from outside again. Most people think closeness begins with impressive stories, perfect confidence, or saying exactly the right thing. It does not, and that mistake is why so many conversations feel fine but emotionally empty. People do not open because you look flawless. They open when their nervous system stops bracing. And once you see that, the game changes from trying harder to making others feel safer. In this video, you will learn 3 shifts that make connection happen faster without pretending harder. The first stops awkwardness before it starts, the second creates trust, and the third changes everything. Because the real reason people feel close is stranger, simpler, and more controllable than you think. And if conversations keep dying around you, this may explain years of confusion in minutes today. First, stop asking people to like you before you have given them anything relaxing to feel. That desperate question, "Do you approve of me?" leaks through even when your words sound normal. It shows up in fast talking, over-explaining, laughing too early, and rushing past silence constantly. People sense the pressure, then tighten up, because nobody enjoys feeling responsible for your emotional landing. So replace approval seeking with something quieter, observation that makes the other person feel accurately seen. Not flattery, not performance, just a clean human notice delivered without trying to harvest anything back. You are not so quiet. You are just choosing your words carefully, changes the temperature instantly. Because being understood is rare, and rare things feel valuable before they even feel intimate yet. Suddenly, the conversation stops feeling like an audition and starts feeling like shared shelter from noise. You have felt this with strangers who named your mood before you managed to hide it. They did not wow you. They relieved you, and relief is one shortcut to instant closeness. Second, speak from the present moment, not from the polished script you rehearsed on arrival inside. Prepared lines sound efficient, but closeness hates efficiency because intimacy grows where something real is unfolding. When someone says they are tired, most people fire advice, jokes, or matching stories immediately back. But the magnetic response is often smaller. You look wiped out. Was today brutal or draining? That question lands because it proves you are here, not waiting for your turn to perform. Presence feels expensive now because everyone is distracted, branded, optimized, and mentally checking notifications beneath everything. The person who responds to what is happening right now feels different even before saying much. Third, and save this because it matters later, stop trying to be interesting before being affected. People trust reactions more than presentations because reactions reveal your real shape before strategy edits it. If their story surprises you, let surprise exist. If it hurts, let your face soften openly. That tiny honest response often creates more connection than 10 polished sentences stacked like showroom furniture. And later I will show why this last shift is stronger than confidence, charm, and wit. Before we go deeper, notice how your closest people made your body unclench before anything else. That is why certain baristas, coworkers, or cousins feel strangely magnetic without being the loudest person. They create less social static, and your brain interprets that ease as rare emotional compatibility instantly. Once you understand this, small interactions stop being random and become something you can engineer gently. So here is the first tool. Give people a specific mirror, not a generic compliment today. Generic compliments slide off because they sound reusable, like stickers handed out after every forgettable conference. But a mirror lands hard because it returns something they recognize but rarely hear described well. Not "you are amazing, but you make complicated things sound calm when everyone else panics around." That line feels intimate because it costs attention, and attention is the real luxury in conversation. The same rule works on dates, in meetings, at family dinners, and during random elevator hell. Imagine a coworker nervously pitching an idea while everyone stares at their slides instead of them. You say, "You always get clear halfway through," and suddenly their shoulders drop 2 whole inches. You did not flatter them. You gave them a map to themselves when they needed one. That is what closeness often feels like. Relief at being recognized without needing to translate yourself. Tool 2 is slower on the surface, but it works fast underneath. Name the tension softly. Most awkward moments worsen because both people pretend nothing strange is happening while absolutely feeling it. The joke misses, the room cools, and everyone starts dragging normal sentences across fresh embarrassment afterward. The bold move is not domination. It is gently acknowledging reality before discomfort hardens into distance. That can sound like, okay, that landed weird. Let me try again without murdering the mood. Or, this feels oddly formal, and I do not think either of us meant it to. Naming tension works because it replaces silent guessing with shared reality, and shared reality calms people. Unspoken weirdness grows teeth. Spoken weirdness usually shrinks back into something two people can laugh at. You have seen this when one person admits the obvious, and the whole room exhales together. Closeness loves honesty with manners, especially the kind that lowers tension without making anyone smaller afterward. Tool free feels almost too simple. Ask for the moment behind the statement, not the statement. When someone says, "Work has been crazy," do not answer the headline. Chase the scene instead. Ask, "What was the moment today when you knew it had officially become ridiculous for you?" That question pulls them out of summary and into memory, where emotion lives in full color. Now they are not delivering a report. They are reopening scenes of bad lights and coffee. And when people re-enter real moments, you stop being a listener and become part of experience. That is why great conversationalists seem deep even when their actual words are pretty ordinary somehow. They do not hunt impressive topics. They pull living detail from the ordinary moments people overlook. And detail is intimacy's fuel, because detail proves somebody stayed long enough to really notice you. If this is helping, like the video, subscribe, and comment which awkward habit sabotages closeness fastest. Now let us go deeper, because the next mistake lives harmless but quietly pushes people away. Stop racing to similarity every time someone reveals something personal, painful, or weird to you instantly. I know the instinct, saying me too. That happened to me, here is my version also. You mean well. But sometimes, that response steals the emotional microphone right when they finally opened. Instead of matching immediately, linger one beat longer inside their experience before bringing yourself in gently. Say, "That sounds lonely," or "That must have hit hard," then let the silence breathe there. That pause feels tiny to you, but huge to them because it says, "I am here." Only after that should you share your own story, and even then, keep it serving them. Otherwise, connection becomes two monologues taking turns, each politely waiting for applause between tiny coffee sips. Tool 4 is the one people underestimate most. Reveal something small before asking something deeper back. Not a life confession, not emotional dumping, just a clean little signal that you are reachable. Like admitting you always overthink voice notes, or that parties drain you faster than expected lately. That kind of disclosure feels safe because it offers vulnerability without handing over a burning suitcase. And people usually answer vulnerability with vulnerability, especially when it arrives without drama or demand attached. This is why certain people make you confess truths beside cars after knowing them 15 minutes. They did not hypnotize you. They proved openness was safe, then your guard stopped working overtime. Here is where most advice gets shallow. It teaches lines but ignores the state behind them. Because people are not only hearing your words, they are reading your pace, breath, and shoulders. If your body screams, "Prove yourself," even brilliant words land with a faint smell of panic. So, before key conversations, do one invisible thing. Slow your exhale until your face softens slightly. Drop your shoulders, unclench your tongue, and let your first sentence come from that calmer body. This sounds minor, but calm is contagious in ways charisma can never counterfeit for long convincingly. A regulated person feels easier to approach because they are not asking others to rescue them. That is the hidden difference between warm people and draining people, even when both are nice. Warm people offer presence. Draining people offer pressure disguised as friendliness, humor, or endless hopefulness sometimes. And people can feel that difference before they understand it, which is why first impressions stick. Now we reach the strongest shift, the one that makes every tool work twice as well. People do not feel close to perfection. They feel close to permission to be themselves too. That is the missing piece almost nobody teaches, because polished advice worships impressing over permitting people. When someone feels they can be messy, unsure, uncool, or unfinished around you, closeness accelerates fast. Not because you lowered standards, but because you removed the courtroom atmosphere from the interaction entirely. Think about the friend you call when life gets embarrassing, not when life looks impressive clean. You called them because their presence does not force you into costume, editing, or strategic lighting. Around them, your weird pauses survive, your half-formed thoughts survive, and your contradictions survive too. That feeling is intimacy, and it arrives fastest when you stop acting like conversation is scored. So the ultimate move is not dazzling people, it is de-weaponizing the space between you both. You do that with mirrors, present questions, soft tension naming, small disclosures, and a regulated body. But underneath all of them is one message their nervous system hears loud and clear first. You do not need to impress me to stay here with me as you are today. That sentence is rarely spoken directly, but people feel it when your behavior consistently proves it. And once they feel it, they stop guarding the doorway and finally invite you inside properly. That is why some conversations become unforgettable without anything objectively extraordinary happening in them at all. You remember how you felt in them, less defended, less edited, and strangely more possible afterward. And that feeling spreads fast, because people revisit places where their identity was allowed to exhale. So next time you walk into a room, stop hunting so hard for the perfect opener. Look for the human signal already in front of you, then respond to that instead first. Maybe it is their tired eyes, careful voice, crooked laugh, or hand squeezing a paper cup. Meet that detail honestly, and you skip the exhausting theater. Most people mistake for charm entirely. Then stay present long enough for the moment to become specific, textured, and safe for them. Because closeness is rarely built by saying more, it is built by making less feel dangerous. And when danger leaves, people start offering the parts of themselves that usually keep backstage hidden. That is when minutes feel unusually deep, even though nothing dramatic happened on paper there yet. No magic trick, no manipulative hack, just a different answer to the question underneath every interaction. Instead of asking, how do I seem better, ask, how do I make honesty easier here? That single shift can change dates, interviews, friendships, family dinners, and the stranger beside you forever. People feel close to you, not when you shine brightest, but when they can finally unclench.